guys get drafted. We don't. Women decide elections. We're 55% of the population. I think if we want to vote, equally draft us. Y'all want equality.
I ain't never heard that take before, y'all boys. So women get drafted? Never thought of this. I don't think so.
Because I feel like in order for the laws to change for men, women have to do it.
Yo, is this
I
person
want
from
equality.
retarded? I'm not
Hey,
sure.
you
Yeah,
dumb as
she's
fuck.
retarded.
Everything gotta
Is that
be
the
equal,
answer you're
bro.
looking-
Alright, man, welcome back to another video. Hope your day is going good. And in today's video, we got the dumbest women on YouTube. Just Pearly things. Right now, T-Raw is editing. So we're gonna skip his take. We're just gonna get right into it.
In my 23 years on this planet, I have never lost as many brain cells as I have in the 2 weeks that it took me to make this video.
If my son came home from school one day and said to me, look, Mum, I'll be honest with you, I think I'm gay, I would take it on and I'd be open.
What if your son came home and said, I think I'm black?
Well, I mean, obviously, I would.
In case
Whoa. Think I'm black? What the fuck? Gang. What if he says he's black? What does that mean? What does that mean?
If you don't know Pearl, consider yourself lucky, because this woman has the IQ of a jar of mayonnaise.
Israel versus Palestine. You're saying that there's like a war there going on?
She has conversations about dating more than almost any human on this planet.
You met me and I'm just a dude in the bar. How are you explaining yourself?
I would say I do a live show 4 times a week on relationships.
Yet, when she gets hit on in the street, she freezes up like Frosty the Snowman on a cold winter night in the North Pole.
Oh, my number. What? Wait, what? You want to be interviewed? No. I'm okay, thank you. He was actually cute. I just got embarrassed.
Bruh.
And if that wasn't bad enough, she's by far the biggest grifter on this entire platform.
How the hell you gonna get a man if you out here playing around like that, bro? And you here giving advice to other women, bro? That is crazy.
Recently decided that women shouldn't vote.
And she's actually such a grifter that after being called a grifter more than 1,000 times, her first public response to this was to pretend that she didn't know what a grifter was.
People constantly
Somebody who'll do what?
Just attach onto something
And I was
without
really
knowing what it
confused
is.
when I first got in the space.
You're just hopping onto
Luckily for you, I have the knowledge to teach
Yeah,
you
well, let him
exactly what a
explain
grifter is.
Should we all learn how to be grifters together?
So today we're going to be taking a deep dive into Pearl and her red pill grift, her hypocrisy and lies, and overall asinine behavior. So strap in, because I'm going to be taking a swing at just Pearly things today, and I'm not missing.
You guys aren't going to stop me. You're not really going to bring me down.
What we do here is go back.
Bring back bullying. Hey, let's bring it back. Let's bring back bullying. Like the video if you would buy a bring back bullying merch, because we could sell those.
Just so we're all on the same page about exactly what a grifter is, let's have Pearl read to us the definition of a grifter.
A person who engages in petty or small-scale swindling. A fraud.
Pearl is not a scammer in the traditional sense. She doesn't sell some $5,000 fake guru course, but as YouTubers, we do sell ourselves and our content to the general public to try and make more money. And that's totally fine, but the issue comes in when almost every conversation you're having is nothing but red pill NPC talking points that's been copied off of other people in an attempt to pander to a predetermined audience for your own monetary gain.
I'm doing this for money. It's all about money to me.
Got him! Got him!
Well, she
The
admitted
primary
it.
issue I have with Pearl is that she makes long-form content but doesn't actually speak what she thinks. She thinks what her audience wants to hear and repeats that like a sneako.
These people are just genuine bots.
For example, on almost every podcast she goes on, she proudly parades around this opinion that she thinks women shouldn't vote.
I don't think women should vote.
Huh?
I don't think women should vote.
Lord Jesus!
And this isn't some one-off thing. Pearl cannot stop herself from saying women shouldn't vote whenever someone puts a microphone in her face.
You shouldn't vote.
What? No, I shouldn't. No, seriously. Like I could say that like me voting benefits me, but do I think as a society women should vote? No. I think women shouldn't vote. For example, I don't think women should vote. Like, the more I do the show, the more I think women shouldn't vote.
It was taken out of context.
I don't think Shawty
I'm not
is
saying women
damn
shouldn't
serious.
vote.
And why does Pearl
She
think
can't.
women shouldn't vote? Well, it's even worse than the actual take itself.
You guys get drafted. We don't. Women decide elections. We're 55% of the population. I think if we want to vote, equally draft us. Y'all want equality. And personally, I don't want to get drafted, so I'll be in the kitchen.
And if that wasn't
Damn.
bad enough, right before
I
she
ain't never heard that take before, y'all boys. So women get drafted? Never thought of this. I don't think so.
said she thinks women shouldn't vote, she announced to the world that she wants to run for office one day.
I'd like
agree,
to run
bro.
for an office someday. I don't think women should
should be on
vote.
the drive.
I don't think women should vote. Because I
You
feel like
think
for, in
women
order
should
the
be in the
laws to
draft?
change for
Hell
men,
yeah.
women have to do it.
Yo, is this
Y'all
person
want
from
equality?
retarded? I'm not
Hey,
sure.
you
Yeah,
dumb as
she's
fuck.
retarded.
Everything
Is
gotta
that
be
the answer
equal,
you were
bro.
looking for?
Okay, maybe I wouldn't take it that far, but something's just
I don't
not
agree
adding
with
up here.
him, bro.
Women shouldn't be able to vote
Don't lump
because
me
they
in with
can't
this
get
nigga,
drafted,
please.
even though there hasn't been a draft in 50 years. But they should be able to
Nah,
run
y'all
for
wanna be
office
equal,
with
bro?
the sole
You gotta be
purpose
equal.
of changing laws in favor of
Can't
the
be
men.
no double standards no more.
I'm convinced, folks. That's pretty much the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
If you watch one podcast from Pearl, you already know what she's gonna say about any subject before she even opens her mouth. Literally, all she does is unconditionally defend all men while simultaneously bashing all women.
Like, men, when they make a bad decision, they always have a consequence. Women don't, and that's why women are worse, because one gender has consequences, one doesn't. And to say
He's not
it's like
lying,
equal, I
though.
just think isn't like
That's all.
fair.
See?
What is she lying about?
Because like,
I'm
men,
having
when
a
they make
hard
bad
time.
decision,
Only
they have
thing
a
I
consequence
disagree
immediately,
with
but
is the
women
women
don't. We're
voting.
bailed out of everything.
Pearl
Okay,
makes
yeah,
these
the women.
generalizations
Yeah,
about men
I
and
disagree
women
with the
all the
voting thing,
time on
for
her
sure.
show, and it leads to terrible takes like this, where she claims that because she's personally lived a life where she doesn't have to face any consequences for her actions, that this applies to all modern women. That's stupid, because there's about 3 billion men and women out there, and aside from the programmed bots like Pearl, we're all quite different and deserve to be judged as individuals. But Pearl's entire channel has been curated in a way which paints all modern women out to be these delusional and horrible people.
That's why, like, honestly, modern women are leftover women. Modern women are side chicks. A lot of modern women are selfish. I think most modern women are very narcissistic. They're usually obsessed with
You
themselves.
see the
They
big
think that they're
girl? She
10.
was like, did she really just say that?
Bro. Are we in an alternate reality?
Oh, man.
I'm watching this video like, yo, this girl is OC. This shit is crazy, bro.
They think that they're special.
And men out to be these flawless creatures who have it so hard and can do no wrong.
I would say most men are good men.
And because she does this on almost every episode of her podcast, these types of generalizations have become completely normalized, and it often results in cancerous discourse like this blanket statement she made about how she thinks becoming a single mother means you're automatically a bad decision maker.
And it says something about your decision making if you become a single mother.
Are you
Whoa.
alright? Do you know why I became a single mother?
Yeah,
That's uncool for you. Don't know what I experienced.
Tore her
You don't know what I
apart right
experienced
there.
as a
Look,
married
that's-
woman
that's
to
tough.
make a choice to be a single mother.
It's either
I
you
don't
don't
agree with that one.
It's either you don't pick the right guys.
I don't agree with it either.
It's something
Oh,
about your
snap.
decision making. Maybe you don't pick the right guys.
Jesus.
So abusive
Ooh.
women that choose lovely, amazing men that just decide to be physically abusive
which one?
because
Wait.
I chose that. Yeah? Is that what you're saying?
Say that again.
So I chose to be a single divorcee because of an individual's choice to be violent. Is that what you're saying?
It was your choice to get in a relationship with him.
Oh, because I did what? See his psyche.
Pearl is so dumb that after seeing that clip for the first time, I actually got drunk just from looking at my computer screen, and then I
feel
started
like I'm
having a
getting drunk,
panic
too.
attack because I was
I don't know
losing
about the
brain
panic
cells
attack part.
at such a high rate. Luckily, my last video was on Keemstar, so I remembered to take 3 sips of beer.
Also in the news.
Pearl and her podcast are the exact same thing as these brain-dead radical feminists who say that all men are trash.
But we have brain cells. Like I've seen it in all my relationships. Yeah. Common sense
is not there.
But
you guys have the strength, the power, you've got all that. I'm not going to sit in and say that we have that, we don't. Okay? But you guys lack common sense.
Nah, but that's the relationship
And what
experience.
every man, I have
What if you just dated the wrong people? Brokies, dumb guys.
But the only difference is that Pearl is the opposite end of that spectrum.
I think women divorce for no reason all the time.
Okay,
No
that's
good
that's
reason.
that's
Yeah.
that's absolutely
Yeah,
retarded.
honestly,
You just need to talk to more people then.
I've done so many street interviews. I talk to random strangers on the street all the time.
And you find women that get divorced like, oh, you know, I just wanted to get
I mean,
divorced.
no, but the reasons they
Can I tell you the
dumb.
reasons?
Like
Because
what,
I researched
chores?
it.
Because
That's
dumb,
not dumb.
dude, oh my god, you're actually a child. What do you think love is? A relationship requires a lot of deliberate work, and things like hold on, things like chores are where relationships start to break
Hey,
down.
buddy, you don't get to talk. You got a lot of issues. This man right here, this guy, he doesn't get to talk, man. Look, why are you pulling up in blue hair? What's going on over here, bro?
And it'll steamroll into bigger things.
In case you haven't picked up on it by now, the words that come out of
if you
Pearl's
heard
mouth
about this
don't actually
nigga,
mean
the shit that
anything.
he got
All
going
she's
on.
doing whenever she talks on a
Nah.
podcast is trying her best
I
to
see
appease
one
her
video,
incel audience
and
and
I'm just
fishing for
like,
clips
oh,
for her to
Lord.
try and go viral on TikTok.
The first being that women like being cheated on.
Do you really believe that most women like being cheated on?
I think I do. I didn't before I started
What's
the
with this
show.
blue hair, bro?
I think modern women like being cheated
Y'all
on.
come in and let us know if that's true.
Pearl, just because you like being cheated on doesn't mean that other women like being cheated on.
Sorry, I'm not that smart.
In fact, in most cases, I think we all know what would happen.
I'm gonna beat your ass.
What?
I think the worst part about Pearl is the fact that she is
People always trying
everything
to
that she
kill you
preaches
if you cheat on
against.
it, yeah.
For example, Pearl constantly goes on these 4-hour-long rants about how men only want traditional women and that modern women aren't traditional because they're not virgins.
You can still be a feminist and have traditional roles.
Yeah,
and
but,
have a home.
yeah,
and
but
raise
the
a home.
problem is like you guys aren't young virgins, so that's like demanding traditional outcomes when you're not traditional women.
Whoa.
Like if you were a traditional woman, you'd be a young
I ain't
virgin.
gonna lie, shit.
Like I don't know.
She be stirring the pot,
yeah,
boy.
like okay, so you're
Woo.
describing things. You're saying to the men like you're not traditional men, and I agree, but we're not traditional women. We're not 21-year-old virgins. They value purity and youth. The average age of first marriage in the UK is 31. That's not pure or youthful.
And I get where she's coming from, but if you're gonna make the argument that
cooking
men
right
want
now.
traditional women and that traditional women are good, you have to actually be a traditional woman. But Pearl could not possibly be further from a traditional woman.
Right now, my priority is YouTube. I'm trying to grow my channel. I'm
Yeah,
also trying to get in like probably the best shape of
I
my
feel
life.
like she doing all this
Pearl
on
is an
purpose,
extremely successful, career-oriented, not religious, not submissive, confrontational woman who is 27 years old and single, who, by the way, isn't even a virgin.
But the crazy thing is I was old. Like I was one of the last girls in my age group for school to like be a virgin. Like I was late. I was 20. I was 20. Yeah. Or maybe 19. Either 19 or 20. I was a sophomore in college.
Oh my god, guys, she's not even a virgin. Someone cancel this girl. She's done for because according to the Bible standards,
Lighting her
high-value
on
men
fire.
only want purity and youth.
I think he speaks a lot of truth, and a lot of women don't want to hear it. Oh, if you sleep around, that is not attractive to guys. They don't want you to know that like you age out of the dating marketplace.
So I won't date a girl who's older than 25, and that's not even about. Bro, I won't.
So her entire career is essentially based off the fact that she is the physical embodiment of everything that she preaches against on video.
If you're single over a certain age, you're probably too picky.
Yo, is this person?
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. It's like.
But that's a choice. It's a choice to be picky.
And as a result of the massive difference between what she
Okay,
says
so
and what
she's-
she does, nothing she says holds any weight in any context except for when she inadvertently insults herself, of course.
I've noticed a lot of therapists are like older single women, and I'm kind of like, if you can't maintain a relationship, why would I take advice from you?
Pearl is obviously not a therapist, but she is a single 27-year-old woman who gives more relationship advice on her channel than 99.9% of YouTube channels ever created.
Never take relationship advice from women, guys.
Dang,
It's
she
ridiculous.
getting them views too.
And getting relationship advice from someone who's as objectively bad at dating as Pearl is,
He was actually cute. I just
Just
got
go to
embarrassed.
show you.
I don't know.
is like getting advice on how to walk from a toddler.
She said, baby, come here.
And to be honest, I think Pearl is actually way worse than the average grifter that I've covered on this channel, because not only is she not a traditional woman, she is disrespectfully bad at being a traditional woman.
I keep
The
cutting.
joint is.
Yeah, I keep cutting the bone. Like I keep thinking I almost have it, and then I just.
So we've got all that shopping there. So we're going to plan the menu for the whole week.
Yeah. So
what Pearl's going to do is that tip. If you're buying fresh chicken and you're going to clean it, rather than clean it, bag it up, put it in the freezer.
Bro, I don't want
and
to
then
talk
have to
about
take it out and
her
marinate it. What we
her
do-
skin
I
tone
got it first. Well done.
or what she is, but traditionally they're not really in the kitchen like that. Let's be real. So that's not really out of the normal for us.
Level of incompetence here is astounding. This is a very basic task that a 12-year-old child should be able to accomplish, but she's standing there trying to rip this chicken thigh with her hands.
Look at that.
And if that wasn't infuriating
That's like
enough,
a kindergartner
her failed
trying to
attempt
handle some
at cutting the
chicken.
chicken is not even in the shot.
How do you do that? How do you do that? What the hell is going on?
And look, I think it'd be great if there was a figure in the red pill space who was actually a traditional woman teaching the younger generation of women who were interested in being more traditional on how to do that properly. But Pearl is not the one to be teaching young women these skills.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy. Okay.
Pearl runs a channel called Wife School where she's the main student, and aside from the fact that she's a 27-year-old human being who can't cut a chicken thigh without hitting bone, it's not helpful at all to anyone based on the fact that all of Pearl's viewers are grown men who unironically hate women. And I'm not just saying that. 99% of the super chats that Pearl gets on her live streams involves just straight up insulting the women that go on the show.
You have been a 304. You're just still. You are still just an older 304. Your masculinity proves that you haven't changed your ways. Dale Jennings, the sister is so damn delusional.
Big Brown, she is an absolutely horrible human being.
Bruh.
Big Brown, tell the medium attractive 304 on the far left of the couch she isn't as intelligent or attractive as she thinks.
Oh,
That is
snap.
exactly the type of 304 that men don't want. She would give zero peace. The delusional redhead 304 is
fuck?
emphasizing equity rather than
Oh my
equality.
God.
Don't wife the 304. If you do, she will go to her
Hey,
natural
man,
habitat,
chill.
the street.
Filter,
But
bro.
putting Pearl's inability to cut a chicken thigh aside, the most
She just
offensive
read
part
it
about
as it
Pearl
is.
that she's
What?
deluded herself into believing that her arguments are good, so she'll tweet out stuff like this.
They'll continue to attack me personally because they can't attack the argument.
And this is honestly mind-blowing to me, because a lot of her arguments are absolutely horrific, and there's no way she doesn't know that. So when you combine that tweet with how often she begs people to cyberbully her, I honestly think Pearl has a humiliation fetish.
That's why I'm like, bring back bullying.
I think that, honestly, a little bit of bullying is good for people.
Let's bring back bullying.
Okay, let's bring
No, I
back
swear to God,
bullying.
I think a little bit of bullying is good for people. Let's bring back bullying.
Bro, you see she's not dead serious, bro.
This is
I think she a raised beta, bro.
Let's bring. She know that the. Hey, you know why she's doing this though? Think about the great marketing behind this. Like, she's actually genius.
Exactly.
She knows that the red pill are a bunch of guys who were bullied in high school, and they're looking for reasons. You know, like they just want to get better, get in the gym, switch up their life. You know what I'm saying? And so her just saying bringing back bullying is gonna trigger them, because it's like, I was bullied in high school, you bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm trying to- but that's pretty much what it is, bro. It's kind of crazy, but that's good marketing.
And I'm not gonna lie, although it is enticing, I am absolutely not going to feed into that more than I already have. So I'm gonna be as nice and respectful as possible from here on out, because I take a full stand against bullying, because
I am such a good person.
and I just love making people feel good about themselves.
It makes me feel so degraded having to clean you like a form of worship. Now, I thought this was actually quite sweet what you've written there. Sort of along the lines of, like, you really love making someone feel, you know, good.
True, yeah.
So just to clarify, I don't disagree with Pearl all the time. Obviously, sometimes Pearl says things that I agree with 100%.
Even a broken clock is right twice a day.
And even when she's right, because she's such a fraud who doesn't practice what she preaches in any way.
How many women have a cookbook of just recipes that they made themselves?
How's your cooking?
How's my cook? I'm a good cook.
Okay.
I've traditional women got their own cookbook. They're virgins. They're 22.
She makes it impossible to take anything that she says seriously.
You know, these hoes.
Maybe if Pearl were closer to her authentic self as opposed to a rinse and repeat version of every other red pill grifter in a female's body, it might be worth agreeing with her on certain things when she's not saying stupid stuff like this.
I do think men and women cheating is different. Like, I think if a woman cheats, she's trying to leave you. If a man cheats,
yes.
he's just like, it's like a handshake.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, Pearl is a grifter, a fraud, and a weaselly little liar.
Bro.
It's like, you can't even tell the truth about anything anymore because people are pandering to their
All
audience.
right, let me pause. This is probably a good lighting for her anyways, because I've seen her in some unattractive lighting. Trent, what are you rating this from 1 to 10? And when you take this down a pound down. That long pause is killing me.
I don't know, bro. I gotta see it like full body.
You saw her full body. She just carrying regular.
Based off what I'm seeing though, maybe like I wouldn't say she ugly, but she definitely not like cute. Maybe like a 5.
A 5?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you gave her the same thing. 5.
Yeah.
You smashed it?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, no, probably not, bro. I probably couldn't do it, dog. She seemed like kind of like dry, like I don't know.
Yo,
she just seemed dry. If she had like a good personality, possibly, but I don't know.
No way.
Just saying like it'd be a disconnect.
I owe it to myself to be able to tell the truth. Not the cow. Because at the end of the day, on this channel, we tell the truth no matter what.
What a fucking liar, dude. What a fucking Weasley little liar, dude. What a fucking Weasley little liar, dude. Holy shit, dude. Holy fucking shit, dude. Literally lying.
Pearl consistently lies on video, just like every other grifter that I've covered on this channel, and it often results in an unhealthy amount of hypocrisy.
I don't think I'm a hypocrite. I think I'm a hypocrite.
For example, let's take a look at what she had to say when Adam22 asked her how many bodies she has.
How many people have you slept with? Do you have this out?
No.
You ask everybody that. And you don't say your own number?
What? No, I don't ask everyone. I don't think I've ever asked. No, I don't even ask body count.
It's a single digit?
No, I say it is a single digit.
Okay.
But no, I don't even ask.
Well, I can believe her when she says she got a single digit.
But that couldn't possibly be further from the truth, and I honestly don't understand why she would lie about this, knowing that she's recorded herself asking other people their body counts more than any other YouTuber on this entire website.
What's your body count?
No. I was gonna
Would you say your body
we've been
count?
seeing that nigga for all the years.
Will you say your body count? Will you say your body count then, since it doesn't matter? What's your body count? 3? No, I don't even ask body count. Ish, what's your body count?
What?
What's your body count?
Mine's 15.
Bruh.
What's your body count?
3. 0.
Okay, what's your body count? What's your body count?
I don't count.
So what's your body count?
1.
1?
faith. I lost count.
And when Pearl gets confronted on how the things she say have no actual substance and isn't giving the viewers practical advice, she resorts to claiming that she doesn't give her viewers advice.
When we're giving people, we have to give them practical advice.
No, you do on your channel. You do on your channel.
Go ahead. I'm sorry,
Because
Pearl. It's your show. Go ahead.
Again,
I'm sorry. Go
we're
ahead.
not giving advice. We're not giving advice. You give advice.
Again, this is a lie. Pearl actually gives so much advice on her channel that she couldn't stop herself from giving advice in that exact same interview.
2 seconds later.
I mean, ideally, like if you're a young girl and you can wait till you're married to have I totally would advise that. And I don't really give advice, but
But remember, guys, Pearl doesn't really give advice on her channel.
I would advise getting on the treadmill. I would start there.
Stay, man. Let somebody talk long enough, they're going to expose you.
It's very different than 35.
like I would advise, you know,
They
it's like
definitely
the
talk
lesser
too
of,
much.
no offense, but like 2 evils. You know, take my advice. Don't take my advice. I don't really care. That's my advice. See, my advice is a bit idealistic.
My
but it
advice?
works for me. And this is
She
kind of
says
weird
so
advice,
much.
But number 2,
Weird advice.
I also don't
That
give
word
advice
actually leaves her mouth so often for someone who doesn't give it advice.
Yet again, there's not many YouTube channels out there that give more advice than Pearl's channel does.
I owe it to myself to be able to tell the truth. Because at the end of the day, on this channel, we tell the truth no matter what.
Pearl also consistently makes fun of overweight women
She
because
say
they're
her
obese and
opinion no
refers to
matter
them as
what.
whales.
He can't get the
that's the
hot
truth.
chicks. He'll settle for
Right.
the whale, but that's
I
no
applaud
guy's
her
first
for that, though.
choice.
She gonna get her opinion.
Where I was whale attacked.
Yeah,
she
yeah.
happens to be a whale.
That's one thing I do
didn't
like
go out-
about her.
I didn't make her a whale.
I said leave the whale.
But I find this to be very hypocritical because in SpongeBob, the character named Pearl is a literal whale.
SpongeBob.
No, but for real, obviously being 300 pounds is not ideal. Maybe people who are 300 pounds shouldn't be bullied and referred to as whales, but yeah, it's not exactly a good thing. But the issue with Pearl referring to 300-pound women as whales is that the only known ex-boyfriend of Pearl was a 300-pound man who's famous on TikTok named
I'll
Angry
be saying
Reactions.
cause
I
video.
said name someone that looks good at 300 pounds.
Your ex, homie. Like, this man, fine as hell. And then he dumped your ass and lost weight. So I think you're hurt over that.
Know that hood.
It's a two-way street, buddy. You can't criticize
happened?
women for being 300
Know that
pounds,
hood.
but then turn around and consensually date men who are 300 pounds while sober. It has to go both ways, because it's not healthy, male or female.
I am getting fat, and I don't know why, to be honest with you. I'm swelling
Oh
from the
my
heat,
god,
and
this is the
it's just-
same dude.
Has nothing to do with a 20-piece McNugget you just ate.
Oh shit.
That's called protein. It's called nutrition. It's called dietary functionality nutritionalizations.
Pearl also often quotes studies on her show.
People don't like this study, so there's a couple different ones, but if you're a virgin on your
This
wedding
shit is
night, you have an
crazy.
80% chance of a happy marriage. There's a couple studies that say 60 to 70%, so it depends which one, but it drops to a 25% chance after like 5
Why
to
you
7
laughing,
partners.
nigga?
So you're basically
All right, y'all boys, you already know, man. We've reached the end of this one. T-Raw, give us your point of view.
This is torture.
This is torture.
That was my conclusion. My eyes hurt.
Yeah, man. That being said, you already see it, man. We glitching. Nah, bro, you already know, man. If you made it this far, man, you already know you're a real one, bro. We appreciate you, man. We real grateful for y'all, man. You know we can't do none of this without y'all. Go ahead and comment below how you feeling about just Pearly things. I think she's ridiculous. As you heard from T-Raw, she's a 5. And she probably couldn't get it. You know what I'm saying? But you already know, man. You catch us in the next one. We out.